Aaron Whitlow.
Brandon Spivey.
Go ahead.
And we are the Markout Movie Podcasters.
All right. I didn't want to step on your toes today. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing Spider-Man Homecoming. Brandon, do you know how hard it was for me to not call this movie No Way Home? It's so hard.
So hard.
So, yeah, 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming. But before we jump into that, of course, as we do always, we want to first say like, subscribe, and share our podcast. Thank you for tuning in with us. But as we typically do, we want to discuss, unless Brandon has movie news.
I mean, there was quite a bit, but there's nothing on top of my head. There's a few trailers that dropped. The new Supernatural spinoff dropped. The Walker spinoff dropped. There's a couple more.
The Boys 3, I think, trailer dropped. Although I haven't seen that. I try to avoid it because I don't want spoilers. I know that also Halloween ends. They got a drop date for the trailer. So
drop date. And CW's canceling 90% of their shows.
Like what?
Most of the DC stuff is gone. Stargirl's still there. Flash is there for one more season. And I want to thank the Superman and Lois or whatever it's called is still there. That's it. Everything else is gone.
That's actually a good show. I enjoyed so far what I've seen of it. Let's see. What other movie news? Well, trailer-wise, I seen the She-Hulk trailer. So that was finally released. Did you see it? Have you watched it yet?
Half and half.
So that tells me that you're not really feeling it.
No, I mean, I enjoyed seeing Tim Roth in the trailer. But everything else, I don't know. I don't know really much about the She-Hulk character, so I can't really discuss on that. I just don't know what's going on with Hulk. I just don't know.
Yeah, at this point, I'm confused too because at the end of one of those movies, he's human again with his armor and sling.
Yeah.
And in this, the armor and sling, I guess, could have been still from Endgame, but I'm not sure. But yeah. So, what we watched. All right. So, I watched. I know. Sorry, I'm sorry, Brandon. I watched recently. I watched a movie called Alice, which is 2022 movie. It reminds me of Antebellum, but it's like Antebellum remix. But it doesn't mean it's good. I like Antebellum. Now, let me start by saying that I actually like Antebellum. I know that some people didn't like Antebellum, the movie about the black folks that were kidnapped and brought into like a modern day slave type of place, and it felt like it was, out of context, you think that that's the time frame, but then in the movie it kind of reveals that they are actually in the modern day but have been kidnapped. And I thought it was a good little take on that. So I liked it. This movie, Alice, is sort of like that, but it just doesn't have the heart that Antebellum did. But I welcome you to watch it. I love to see hear your thoughts on it.
What's it on?
I watched it on one of them apps that is not technically legal, but
leave it to me to ask. Leave it to me to ask.
Spoilers. That's what I do. But it's snitch. That's gonna be your next shirt. Snitches. That's what I am. No. No. It's well. You can actually rent it on Amazon. So there you have it. You can rent it on Amazon Prime.
All you had to say is, "Hey, you can watch it on Amazon if you rent it." You didn't have to go in. I stole it.
But I'm a very honest person, Brandon. But also, let's see what else I watched last night. I watched on HBO Max I watched Antlers,
You've
the
only
movie that
saw
came out last year.
it. Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, it wasn't bad. I thought they had great metaphors as far as for abuse, child abuse, neglect, uh, and the creature wasn't bad because Guillermo del Toro does his thing. But all in all, I felt the movie pretty boring. I just wasn't really.
Really,
Yeah, I wasn't really
I
blown
really
away.
like. I really
Did
like.
you?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. I really enjoyed it. It is what it is. We disagree sometimes, people. We disagree.
But we can still be friends, right?
Right. That's what it's
We don't have
about.
to. We don't have to cancel one another. Uh,
Well, there we go.
chainsaw versus cancel is what you said one time. But
I've been
anyway,
watching. Uh, are you done with your watching? You got more?
oh no, no. Well, I mentioned it last week. I can officially mention it now. I watched Chippendale Rescue Rangers on Disney Plus. I watched it prior to that. I was able to see it. Disney allowed me to see it. Um, I absolutely loved it. It's on there now. I watched a little bit of it today, and it just was. I'm just excited to watch more of it. So I want you. I want you to watch it. I want other people to watch it because it's going to get ruined for you. People's going to ruin that movie and some of the things you see in that movie because
I've
that's
heard
what.
Bad Sonic's in it.
Dude, see, you spoilers, Brandon. That's what you do.
I said I heard. I didn't say it was true. I don't know it's true or not. I
But
just heard.
but you Brandon. That's
How
what
do
he does.
you call something if you haven't seen it and you say I heard? It's
But
not
Brandon, sometimes you be
a
like,
rumor, Aaron. It's a
but
rumor.
you want these people to be like, I heard Professor X is in the new, uh, you know,
Well, everybody knew that watched the trailers.
I did. I tried to watch. I tried not to watch it, but
He was in the trailers. His voice was in the trailers. But,
oh, once again, I tried not to watch it. So what did you watch? Wow.
I've been watching the Sharknadoes and reviewing them on Anchor. But yeah, that's. I really enjoyed the first one. I will say that I think it's a compelling story. I really enjoyed the first one. The sequel's not so much.
Mhm.
The last one just jumped the shark in so many ways. But I will say this for it: they went to space. Sharks went to space. They did a better
Sharks.
job. Yeah, sharks went to space. They did a better job in Sharknado 3 than F9 did going to space. That's what I'll say. At least they actually
Well,
went on a spaceship.
why is it the thing where, especially like was in the '90s and 2000s, they were destined to take everybody to outer space. They wanted to take Jason to space, Leprechaun to space, Hellraiser. I'm pretty sure went to space. Now the sharks from Sharknado is in space. Um, what's next? Michael in space, Freddy in space,
Well,
Chucky in space. I can see that. I can literally see that happening. The way
Chucky in space.
yeah, the way that series is going, absolutely. No,
It's
no,
not.
I didn't hate the Chucky TV show. I want to say that I loved it. I thought it was excellent. But yeah,
But film series, you could see it going to space at some
yeah,
point.
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know what the creative decision is going to space, taking beloved horror characters and putting them in space. I don't know what fascination that is. It doesn't work ever. But for bad movies, it kind of works, I guess. Like I didn't hate Sharknado went to space. It is what it is. It's a really bad movie. They go to space. They jump the shark, so to speak. They're making fun of themselves, though. That's the difference. Fast 9 was not trying to make fun of itself. It was. I say that, and then again, I don't know. Maybe Vin Diesel was trying to make fun of it, trying to destroy his
I,
own creation.
I've totally forgot that Fast Nine went to space. To include that in the scope of films that literally go to outer space. Yes, Fast Nine, Tyrese, and Ludacris was in space. Uh,
Hey, but you notice though what he does to his property, but he won't be in the scene that's jumping the shark, so to speak. he protects himself, but he doesn't have no protection of his own movies. I don't. He's a bizarre dude.
I only acknowledge him as Groot at this point in his career. But uh,
I think
no,
that's how most people are gonna feel.
anything else you watched?
Nope. Nope.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that those reviews for the Sharknado films that Brandon has watched for your viewing pleasure and his discussion is up on Anchor right now. Feel free to go there and listen to them. Also, we're everywhere: Spotify, wherever you can find podcasts, you can pretty much find us. But yeah, you should check out Brandon's review. I also have a review of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, the 2022 movie on there.
Spoiler
So
free.
spoiler free. That's not what I do. Uh, so, but Brandon, let's roll into a little bit of movie reviews and conversation. So we are discussing Spider-Man: Homecoming, the 20 was it 2018, 2019, 2018, 2019,
17.
17. Ooh, geez, it's so far away. Oh, this movie. I hadn't seen this movie in years, and I just forgot how much I really absolutely enjoyed this movie. Starring Tom Holland once again as Peter Parker. Peter Parker balances his life as an ordinary high school student in Queens. Uh, podcasting. It doesn't matter. Um, uh,
It
and
matters, but you know.
uh, as an ordinary high school student in Queens with superhero alter ego Spider Man and finds himself on the trail of a new menace, prowling the skies of New York City, starring Tom Holland, who is excellent as Spider Man, in my opinion. Michael Keaton, who is great in this movie. Robert Downey Jr., Marissa Tomei, who is, you know, she's freaking Marissa Tomei. John Favreau is Happy Hogan again, and then we get Gwyneth Paltrow, Donald Glover, Zendaya, and Ned is Jacob Batalon, and then there's other people in this movie.
I got a question.
Yeah,
Who did
go ahead.
Donald Glover play?
He played Aaron Davis, who, if you watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, yeah, if you watch that movie, his character was the uncle of Miles Morales in that. So the dude with the claws that that
Yeah,
was
I
that's
just
who he is in this. But they obviously they didn't have him be that character. But that's what he said. My nephew, I got a nephew that lives in the city. He's referencing Miles Morales. So
hmm.
that's pretty awesome. So he kind of referenced
Yeah, he's
the black
coming.
fight. Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, you got the numbers.
I assume it'd be for Sony though, not for Marvel. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, this is it's
I
kind of
have,
like
I have,
it's kind of a mess here.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I have something to say about that. So, well, give me the numbers. Well, let me say what I'm going to say, and then we get the numbers. If you feel like it, or if not, we can just keep rolling. I feel that Sony is relying heavily on Marvel in order to continue these movies because when they don't have Marvel in them, the movies seem like they're really bad. The case in point is Venom, which all right, Venom. The first one wasn't bad, wasn't as bad, but in my opinion, but the second one, Carnage or whatever that one, I didn't like that. I haven't seen Morbius, but I heard bad things.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
And is there any other ones that I'm?
Yeah, there's more coming. There's one coming next year.
I know this is from Bill Dozer experience. I know I'm the minority here, but this movie it just wasn't that good. I wasn't a fan. Oh, interesting. I wonder what you didn't like about it, Bill. Could you please let us know? We welcome anybody's thoughts and opinions on this film. Um, so, but what were you saying, Brent?
oh, uh, yeah, there's like another one. It's like I don't know. It's not Gwen Spider or anything like that, but it's a female spider.
Spider Gwen.
Is it Spider Gwen that's
Spider
coming?
Gwen. Yeah.
Oh, you would think they would introduce her character, and I mean, I know they have in the Andrew Garfield's character films. They haven't done it with Venom or Carnage or Morbius. But I don't know.
I,
Maybe
th-
I don't know what's going on with Sony. To be honest, I just don't
I
know.
I think that though post No Way Home, I think now Sony can stand on their own legs with the Spidey stuff.
Yeah,
If they need to, they can definitely do it. They don't need to rely on Marvel because they introduced that there is a whole nother universe of different characters that could have crept in and they could keep it going with that. So I think that that's a good thing. But I do think that only time Sony shines is when Marvel is when they're covered in Marvel. you know, I mean, this is my opinion.
I agree. We disagree on the Venom. Like, I mean, I like the first one, but I like the sequel a little bit better. Maybe it's because of Woody. Although his character wasn't fully developed, I would say. He didn't get enough screen time. But for a 90-minute movie, fast paced, I thought it was decent. I mean, that's what I would say about the Venom films. They're decent. Morbius was not. God, I wanted to leave. But it
Wow.
wasn't because of Jared Leto. Surprisingly, I thought he was good in the movie. It's just everyone else was bad, and the story wasn't all that good. It's just I don't know. So yeah, I don't really know what Sony is doing with their Spider Verse. I feel at this point you really have to bring back Toby and Andrew Garfield.
Mm.
At this point, you can't just tease it. You have to actually bring them back. You
Well,
gotta do Amazing Spider-Man 3. You gotta do Spider-Man 4 at this point.
yeah, but they gotta do them in their separate universes, and I
Yeah.
think they'll work now. Like, I mean, I would love to see that. Now let's talk about. We didn't get into numbers, but only if you want to. Do you want to or no?
I'll be quick about it.
Okay.
It got a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Metacritic gives it a 73%. 82% like it on Google. It's got a 92% of Rotten Tomatoes with an 87% audience score. So it is
Okay.
certified fresh.
I want to talk about. So this movie picks up post uh, Avengers movie, the first Avengers film,
Uh-huh.
with Michael Keaton's character of Adrian Toomes, uh, part of the cleanup crew that is pretty much uh, cleaning up the alien tech and everything in the city. But they lost that once again, as we stated. This little thin red line of it's always Iron Man's fault. So they lost the contract to clean up this the city and this job, and they weren't in this at this time villainous,
Yeah.
but they lost this contract because Iron Man sent people in to secure it.
Yeah.
I got my name still on my shirt from the conference I went to. I just realized that. Um, so people don't need to know my business. No. But but anyway, yeah, I think that you talk about. I love the origin stories of villains that are forced to become villains, and I think that Michael Keaton plays this role perfectly. Um, I just, I loved his energy in this film. Like, it just maybe got me like hyped to see Michael
I
Keaton.
think he's a better villain than he is a good guy. If you've seen some of his villainy roles, he's superb. He's at the top of his game when he's playing a villain.
Who else was what else was he in where he's a villain? I can't think of one other than Beetlejuice. Technically,
Desperate Measures. He plays a killer. Oh,
Land Shark review next week. No, what is Land Shark? Is that like a real thing?
yeah. It's you can rent it on Amazon Prime.
I'm good.
I added it to my list to eventually watch because I'm a shark guy.
That you are. Go ahead, but what were you saying?
I just Desperate Measures. He plays a villain. He played a bad guy in he did a movie with Brendan Fraser. He's a villain in that. Trying to think. The Protege. He's kind of a villain.
Asian horror. I like Asian horror. Specifically, Korean horror is my favorite market for Asian horror. Let's see, The Eye was great. I don't consider Parasite horror. It has horror elements in it, but it's not really horror. Of course, Train to Busan. It's probably the best one. But Land Shark, you might say that it's Asian horror. I'm not sure. Uh, is it? Is it Asian horror? You're the shark guy, Brandon. You know?
I mean, I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I checked out the trailer a few days ago, but I didn't. I didn't think it was Asian horror, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Or maybe
I
I
don't
looked
know.
at the wrong trailer.
But so I love. What do you think about the beginning of this movie with in regards to Peter Parker? Tom Holland and his little blog of going to fight the Avengers and everything. What do you think about that? Like that perspective of it?
I liked it. I liked that perspective. I liked how he videos everything. And at the time Civil War was happening, I didn't realize he was videoing, which you know who did. But I love that he's just a kid. He's like a kid in a candy store. He's meeting the Avengers. He's fighting the Avengers. He thinks it's just really like a gag to him. Like they're not really fighting. He didn't know how serious the situation was. You
Mhm.
could tell that, and he's just happy to be there, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love
So
that though. He's just genuinely he's just happy to be there.
I noticed that Tony Stark says to him at one point in this movie. He says because he says, "Well, I fought Captain America, or beat Captain America, or something like that." He says, "If Cap wanted to beat you, he would have."
Yeah,
Like, and this is even when they're still kind of beefing with one another. But at least Tony Stark has enough sense to know that yeah, if Captain America wanted to beat you, you would have been beat. Yeah. So let's see. Meeting was a bad guy in Much Ado About. Meeting was
he means
meeting. What?
Keaton. He means Keaton.
Oh, okay, okay. In Much Ado About Nothing. Oh, Keaton. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never seen that one actually. Um, I think about Johnny Dangerously. I think about Multiplicity. I think even in Batman, in the first Batman, when he says, "You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts." Just seeing that kind of like energy that he had.
Yeah,
Uh, it seemed kind of scary, like the way he gave that, like said that line. But I just like I've always been like a mark for Keaton, so I like Michael Keaton. I like Michael Keaton. I kind of compare him a lot to Bruce Willis, uh, in the sense of they both had hot careers at first, but I think Keaton's cooled off sooner than Bruce's. But
I don't know.
longevity wise, Keaton has more longevity. Well, let's say this
He's
because
got a
Bruce has no choice because he has a sickness and illness. If he didn't, I assume he would have kept going. But you
Yeah,
know,
but he was making these bad movies. Keaton got a resurgence with Birdman, and he does top quality work now. So I would put Keaton over Bruce. Bruce was phenomenal in the 80s and 90s and early mid 2000s, but he kind of fell off. And I don't know if it was all because of the illness. I mean, I don't know why he started taking those type of roles, but I know why he was doing it at the end. But it's sad, regardless. I mean, but I would say Michael Keaton has the overall better career.
one of my favorite Michael Keaton movies. If you all haven't watched it, um, I would recommend you watch it. It's called My Life,
Oh,
starring Michael Keaton.
I thought you were
He's
gonna go
a
Dream Team.
huh?
I thought you were gonna go Dream Team.
No, I like that one too. But no, My Life. That's also a good one. Christopher Lloyd in it.
Yeah,
But no, My Life. He's a dad. He's an expected dad. Like his wife is pregnant, But at the same time, he finds out his wife's pregnant. He also finds out that he has terminal cancer, and he's not supposed to live, uh, you know, to see his child born. So he starts recording videos of himself trying to teach his kids life lessons. It's such a great film. Actually, every time I watch it, I cry. Uh, like, and I'm not ashamed to say that I cry. But yeah, it's such a great movie. I recommend everyone watch that movie. My Life, starring Michael Keaton. And he also showed me that he has really great acting chops in that movie because he had to go to a really vulnerable place in that film. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorites is actually a family film he did. I want to say the '90s. Jack Frost. You know, I love that movie, and I didn't. And when I first watched it, I thought it was the horror film about the killer coming back as a snowman. I didn't
Yeah,
realize there was
same
a different.
title.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was a different Jack Frost. I was like, I don't know if I really want to watch this. Then there was a heartwarming story, and I was like, yeah, this is much better than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of my favorites. But I, I don't know what. I guess Beetlejuice is probably what I really think of. But I did. Mr. Mom's another one that I really liked him in. But like he's had a great career, and I'm glad he got a resurgence. And I look forward, if it does in fact come out, I look forward to the Flash.
So let me ask you this. I haven't seen Morbius, but I know that he's in it because of the trailer.
Mhm.
How is he in the movie?
It's a cameo. It's like
It's just a
it's like
cameo.
one of the end credit scenes. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. I didn't get it when I watched it, but now looking back at No Way Home, I understand why he's in the movie.
Okay. Yeah. I like Keaton, man. But let's talk about a little bit more of this film. So we have Spidey now trying to just police the city, essentially. And then that's when he stumbles on this alien tech where Adrian Toomes and his crew has gotten out to like combat the criminals, which is a horrible idea to have this technology in the hands of just regular people. It's terrible idea.
Yeah,
Um, it's
it's
oh my
entertaining.
goodness.
It's
Uh,
entertaining. It's
it,
entertaining.
it is very much so, but yeah, it's just like, but it just like changes the way that they can like steal. Those dresses the Avengers. I thought that was a really great little in camera gag, I guess. But what was your thoughts on just Michael Keaton's um, motivation to
I
be this
understand
villain?
motivation, and here's where I'm probably gonna get. I ain't gonna say bashed, or but I think a lot of people would disagree with me on this. I don't view him as a real villain. Like he's really doing this to provide for his family. He really is. That's how I take it. That's how I took the turn. It's like he's got to do what he's got to do for his family, and he will kill Peter Parker if he has to for his family. But he gives Peter Parker chances just to walk away, and he just will not walk away. And of course, Peter Parker's not going to walk away. But I really like his character, and I understood his motivation, and overall, I feel like he is a good guy. He's being corrupted by things he can't control. You know, like if he
Yeah,
doesn't do this, as he said, he's going to be fighting for scraps. And he said that in the very beginning when he was talking to the female that came in and shut him down. It's like we'll be fighting for scraps, and we need this job. I've paid for the trucks. This is a new crew, so I totally get it. Like it's a dog eat dog world, and he's going to do whatever he's got to do to support his family. That's how I took it. So I don't view him as a traditional villain.
but I want to talk about this too. Like he could have took it a different place and went at Iron Man because I think he does blame Iron Man
Everybody blames Iron Man for something.
Yeah, but Iron Man, like literally, if Iron Man had not have confiscated this alien tech, I think Iron Man's idea was getting out of the hands of people that can just potentially utilize it, right? Uh,
Yeah,
but um, but by doing so, it took away these jobs from these guys, these people that were forced to turn to criminal activity in order to live.
yeah,
Um, and so, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. His motivation, but but don't that make you just like where you rooting against the villain, but also you're not. You also like the villain because this is how I
yeah,
felt watching Michael Keaton in this film.
yeah. I wasn't rooting against Peter by any means, but I was like, don't kill this guy. Whatever you do, don't kill him. And because that's what I was scared of when I first watched it. It's like, oh god, they're gonna kill Michael Keaton at the end of this movie, and he's so good in this role, and you totally feel everything he's going through. You know, you understand why he's doing what he's doing. So you're like, man, don't kill him. You know, I was kind of hoping, and this is maybe the Michael Keaton fan in me, that he would get to walk away at the end. You know, somehow he would set things right, and he would walk away at the end. Didn't
Yeah.
really work out like that, really, but he does get to walk away. Just he gets to walk away in a jail cell.
Well, his greed though also
Yeah,
foiled his plan because he was dead set on getting something from the wreckage, uh,
yeah,
regardless of like he literally left Peter like to die, or not to die, but just dropped him. Like I'm not worried about you at this point. He was about to really kill him, but the last moment he saw, oh, Peter was so defenseless. Like if he wanted to kill him right then, he really could have. Um, but yeah, he dropped him and went in there to get the packs. But also, it sets another seed in there, Brandon, for Peter Parker's character is being like his motivation is not to kill anyone. Like
no,
he even in that final battle, he wanted to save uh, Adrian Toomes. He didn't. I don't know if he was thinking of his daughter because that twist that his crush in this movie is actually his daughter, which I thought that was a great twist. Um, first time I saw it, I was like, oh wow, okay. you know, I didn't see it coming. Me personally, the first time I watched it. How
yeah,
about yourself?
no. I don't. I don't recall seeing that coming. I mean, he talked about how he had a family, so you knew that would probably come up, but I didn't see it being her. I actually kind of thought maybe if it was going to be anyone, maybe it was going to be the mysterious girl who turns out to be MJ, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, because she was just so mysterious throughout the whole picture. You know, but
You know who she reminded me of? Zendaya, MJ, in this film. She reminded me of Ali Sheedy in Breakfast Club. She's just a weird girl that actually didn't even have detention. She just was there. She just was like weird and just awkward. But also, you can't look away. Like
yeah,
she draws you in, and that's what I thought about Zendaya's character in this movie. And they kind of changed her, like from this one to like Far From Home. She's a total different character, in my opinion. She's not the same weird chick that she was.
well, I mean, I think it has a lot to do with her character growing as well.
Hmm.
But if we can, I like to kind of shift a little bit to the Ned character because
Okay.
I feel we should give him some love for playing Spider-Man's basically sidekick, best friend. But
Oh,
he still
Ned's
did.
an idiot.
He is so
Ned,
good.
Ned is an idiot. I like Ned, but Ned had one job not to tell anyone about Spider-Man and Peter Parker. And the first thing he did is, but I guess he's being his wingman. But he said, Peter no Spider-Man, you know. And I'm like, oh, which
Yeah, Ned
which
is
is a
me. I would spoil it
Yeah,
too.
I knew it. I knew it. I thought about you. Um, but um, but actually, if you think about it, he's not wrong because even with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, I can't say this for Andrew Garfield, but for the Tobey Maguire, the whole point of him working for the Daily Bugle is, I think it's what it was, right? The
Yeah,
Daily Bugle. Um, he because he supposedly is friends with Spider-Man, and so he's able to get like candid pictures of Spider-Man, and
yeah,
so which that's so dumb. Of course, you should know that he's Spider-Man, but but yeah, so they set it up that you know Tom and Spider-Man's friends, although they never fully play it out. Like when Spider-Man shows up in uh, in DC, you don't like even Flash said, "Hey, are you and Peter Parker friends?" He never answers.
sure.
But I don't know. You think it's just a hanging type of thing or what?
Yeah, I think it's just a hanging thing. But I also think MJ was figuring him out in this movie. Like, what are you hiding, Peter Parker? Like, I
Mhm.
think she knew in this movie, but she didn't know for sure. But she had a pretty good idea that Peter Parker was Spider Man. Just
But I'm sorry.
no, I just
Uh,
go ahead.
now I was going to say to you, I'm sorry. I apologize. I was going to say though, back to what you said is Ned. No, Ned is actually a really good character. I didn't want to lose that title. That's ADHD, so I interrupt. I apologize. But yeah, Ned is a good character. He is like truly Peter's friend. So
Yeah,
that makes No Way Home even more gutting. So the fact that he kind of loses his friend, but he's still here, but he loses his friend. He chooses to lose his friend. Um,
yeah. That's a that's a tough one. It is gutting, no doubt about it. I mean, to be in Peter's shoes at that point in time, at the end of No Way Home, that's just that hurts. You lose everything, everyone. No one knows you. That's crazy to even think about. But yeah, that's gutting. But I just wanted to give a little shout out to Ned though. I mean, I just thought he was a very good character in this movie, a very good friend, and just I thought he stole every scene he was in. I loved him. I mean, I think he's a better character than James Franco as a what was it? I can't think of his name now.
shoot,
Osborne. I can't think of his name. It's escaping me.
uh, yeah, I had it, man. Because Osborne, Harry Osborne.
Harry, yeah,
Yeah, because his dad is James Osborne. John
uh-huh.
Osborne. I'm probably wrong. He's the freaking Goblin. But yeah, I hate it. So uh, James Franco, right?
Hmm.
Uh, he was just not. I never really liked him as Peter's friend. More I think about it, I'm not really. I wasn't really fond of him in the movie. Um, I like him as an actor. I like him as an actor. I love him in Freaks and Geeks. Uh, I hate watching that one where he stuck with his arm in the cave thing. So I can't watch it ever again. But yeah, he's not a bad actor. It's just that he doesn't. You're right. He's not the caliber of friend that Ned is, and also it feels like Ned and Peter's friendship is more realistic. Um, and then I love that Peter feels like a kid, but whereas with Toby and even with Andrew, they don't feel like they're kids. You know?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they were cast like in their mid 20s as well. I mean, that's back then when they were casting 20-something-year-olds to play kids. You know, I think
Like
John
script.
Travolta was like 30 when he got cast in Grease. So I mean, that's
Really? I didn't
yeah,
know that. Look
yeah.
at the obscure Travolta facts.
And Kiefer from Stand By Me was like 28, 29.
Hmm.
He was playing a teenager. He said that was just a Hollywood way of doing things. They didn't
But
really cast the age appropriate to play the age. So
But the kids in Stand By Me were kids actually. So yeah,
Yeah, those kids, but like Cusack
but
and Kiefer,
yeah, and
they were much older.
Winters, what? Because from no, he wasn't in that movie. I was thinking of from Bill and Ted. He wasn't in that movie, right? Alex Winters,
I don't think so.
because he kind of floated in it. He was in the other movie with Keeper. He was in Lost
Lost
Boys.
Boys. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, you're right, man. And even in, like I said, it's with Scream, they casted everybody that was the main people in Scream. All of them was in their 20s or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah,
only one that really looks the age in the new one was Jenna Ortega. She looks like she's still a kid. So and she's
that's
probably in
the
her,
one.
but
It's just the X, right? The one that's an
yeah,
X.
yeah.
Uh,
But she looked like she was
well,
about 14, 15 in that Scream. And that she looks like she's about 20 something. So they did a really good
well,
job in Scream.
you had to be like 27 for X. Let me tell you that. Uh, Jeez, that movie. Um, but
Tell us how
no,
you really feel about it, Aaron.
but the other lady that's in that movie, what's her name? Amber Freeman. That play Amber Freeman, Mikey Madison,
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega, and then Jasmine Savoy Brown. I felt like all of those were age appropriate. Felt age appropriate for the new Scream movie. Um, I just want to throw that out there. The only one that I felt wasn't is the dude that played um, Wes, the guy that played Wes
Oh, yeah.
from Two Reasons or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, he just feels like he's older, like he's in his 20s. Because maybe because I've seen him in other stuff when he was younger, I know he's much older. I think that was really poor casting, though. Honestly, I think that they probably should have went with a different person for that role. Because I'm familiar with him, and I know that he is older than the rest of those guys
Yeah.
in that movie. But that's me digressing, though. Um, what else you want to mention about Homecoming? Oh, let me mention to this real quick. That scene with Keaton in the car, and the red light on his face, and
Yeah.
then the green light on his face. I wanted to get. Did you get like chills or like eerie feelings with that with him?
Eerie feelings. Yeah, I got eerie feelings with that. You talking about the scene where he's figuring out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, right? You talking about that particular scene? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I got, it's like a switch went off. And he had all these um, he gave horror vibes in that particular scene. Like I'm gonna rip this kid apart. Like I'm gonna shred him.
his daughter Liz pulled a Brandon Spivey by like
She did.
spoiling. She
Oh,
spoiled who Peter was to her dad, but they didn't even realize that she was doing it. She didn't realize she was giving spoilers. Yeah,
that's me. That's
you
right.
wasn't even up there, Peter. You wasn't even at the thing, Peter. Oh, you always running off, Peter. When Spider Man shows up, pretty much like and Mike was like, really? Okay. But yeah, ooh, that's good. I loved it. Um, oh, before we talk about the next person in this film, well, before we talk about Tony Stark, that's what I'm wanting to get to. But I want to mention briefly Bokeem Woodbine, who's in this movie as Herman Schultz. He's Keaton's right hand man. The bald dude, the bald
Mhm.
black dude.
Yeah, I know him.
He's he's a legendary actor as far as like been in multiple things. Um, uh, I remember mainly from Jason's Lyric. He did lot of hood movies,
Yeah,
but he's such a old school actor, man. And it just was great seeing him. He's an overlord. I forgot that he's an overlord.
yeah. I think the first
But
time I saw him was in Michael Bay's The Rock with Tony Todd.
yes,
They worked
he was
together.
absolutely
I think it's the very
absolutely.
first time. Yeah, I've always liked him. I mean, that movie surprised me though. That back in the day, because at this point, I don't know if I knew Tony Todd was Candyman or not. But
But yeah, I just wanted to mention him because I just love that he was like that he still got work. I don't know if he's still doing much now. I see that he was in Snowfall. I see that he was in Fargo. He was in the season I think with Chris Rock in it. But I'm glad just that he's getting work, man. And also Tim Daly, who played Anne Marie Hogue, the lady at the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
uh, took the confiscated the weapons or whatever. She's was in Cagney. She was in Cagney and Lacey back in the 80s. Um, so I remember her on that show, although I didn't watch that show. But I just like seeing these people, these older actors, still getting some love in movies. Um, Tony Stark,
Tony.
my dude Tony. Do you feel like he was like a father figure to
Yeah, yeah.
Peter?
Originally, I thought Tony was gonna be the Ben Parker, Uncle Ben kind of role. You know,
Hmm.
especially at what happens in Infinity War and then Endgame. I was like, man, that's a big blow for Peter Parker. Uh, Ultimately, that's not the case. Man, Peter's been through some stuff. He's been through some stuff, but yeah, I did think he was like the father figure for him. I think he looked at him as a father. Although I don't think Tony really realized it. You know, I think he's starting to pick it up towards the end of the movie, but I don't think he really realized how much he gravitated towards Tony early on. I really don't. But I think the way they wrote these two characters, their bond, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
I really like it. It makes me like
I
Tony
see,
more.
yeah, I see that Tony is more like I think Tony like mentors uh, Peter. Like he takes him, he's essentially taking him under his wing,
Yeah.
um, and adopting him as like as a son, almost. Like he said something, and I caught it this time around watching it. He said, "I just want to let you know what you, even though you didn't tell us you was going to DC and you showed up and you did that, and you helped them. I want to let you know that I'm proud of you, and I want to end the cycle because my dad didn't never tell me that he was proud of me. So I want to actually make sure that I'm telling you that I'm proud of you, even though that makes it sound like, well, I'm your dad and I want to tell you that I'm proud of you. But it's just that he looks at him as a son, and so when Spider Man, when Peter uh, pretty much, and I got some more things to say about this too. 'Cause I think Happy Hogan is to be blamed too because he tried to pass it to him early on and say, "Hey, they got this tech. Y'all need to take care of it." Um, and he played him off like, "Don't worry about it, kid."
Yeah.
But I think that when that boat when that ferry split and everything was happening with that, I think that Tony was just more just um, what's that word I'm looking for? Like he was let down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By Peter, he felt he was like, I'm ashamed of you. Like I'm ashamed that you. That's not that I don't like you. It's not that I don't love you. It's that I'm ashamed of what you did. Like the like as a parent would feel if their kid did something stupid. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I agree with that. It's a it's truly it's a growing experience, but I also think it's they were teasing, Iron Man's replacement, who's going to be the leader of the MCU for years to come. At least for Marvel's hopes, it will be Spider-Man. I feel like by the end of Endgame, well, Far From Home, we could see he is being handpicked to be Tony's replacement. We'll get to that when we get to it, but I really believe this was the early installments of them saying, "Hey, I'm mentoring you. You're gonna take my place when the time comes." I totally believe that, and hopefully Sony don't screw it up. Which at this point, I feel they've worked out a deal where they're going to keep Tom Holland in the MCU, and they're going to, if they have to, they can bring back their original Spider-Man. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it's opened up, man. But I agree. I
That would
think
be the
that
smart thing to do anyway, but Sony's not smart most cases. In most cases.
but I do think that like with Tony being, you know, hurt by Peter's actions, um, and Peter then was hurt by Tony's disapproval of
Yeah.
what he did. Like he realized what uh what he did, and when Tony says if you think that you need the suit to be anything, then you don't need it at all. You missed the point of everything.
But
Uh,
he's just he's just a kid, and here's a prime example of that he's so impatient. Like he thinks he's pretty much being an afterthought to the Avengers now because they're not calling him, they're not testing him back, they're not doing anything. He just wants to do something to help. So if they're not gonna call me, I'm gonna go find something to do.
but
And he's
also,
in trouble.
but I want to piggyback off of what Tony said about that because Tony knows that himself because he's experienced the not like was in Iron Man 3. He didn't really have a suit throughout the whole movie. Most of the movie, he didn't have one. He just had to use his own
Yeah.
in inventions or mind or whatever to kind of get through until he was able to get a suit. But yeah, so he had to be more without the suit. And so I think that he wanted Peter to kind of realize that. That's why that scene where Peter, where uh, what is his villain? What is Michael Keaton's villain name?
The Vulture.
The Vulture. Um, so that scene where the Vulture, uh, crushes him with the building, like with the roof or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
was like, and Peter was like, trying to fight to get out of it, and he just didn't know how to, but he had to dig in and realize, man, I am Spider-Man, not because of the suit, but because of who I am, and
Mm-hmm.
he is able to get out of it. I thought that was a very powerful scene, and I never noticed this. I didn't realize this that the whole third act of the movie, the fight scene, he's doing everything in his man-made Spider-Man outfit and not the one that Tony got for him. And I thought that was like, I didn't know how I felt about it, but now I feel like it's needed to be done. It needed to be that way. So
Yeah, clearly, yeah. He needed to learn and grow and not depend on a suit. So I agree. Um, what did you think of Captain America's cameo?
oh yeah, oh wow, okay. So I thought that was pretty. I love that Chris was Chris is it Evans?
Yeah, Chris
That
Evans.
you right? Okay,
Yeah,
it's like a billion Chris's. But yeah, Chris Evans. I love that he was able to poke fun at himself being this straight arrow type of guy and do
yeah,
these PSAs. I think that was great. I love the end scene where the last end credit where he's like, I like to talk to you all about disappointment, or something like that. Like you waited for something and it wasn't what you wanted it to be and
yeah.
you feel disappointed. I thought that was such a great troll. And I loved it. Like, yeah, I thought that was great, man. I think it's good that he was able to poke fun at himself. So yeah,
I also like the fact that gym teacher says we have to show this. He's like he's like a war criminal now, but it's whatever. I love that, and I love that Ned was talking through it all. It's like, what's Captain America like? Did y'all
yeah,
fight? Who won? I mean, what? I mean, he kept asking question after question after question, and Peter's like, shut up, stop it.
um,
I
let
thought I thought the whole scene was amazing. I really got a lot out of it, a lot of entertainment. And then at the end of credit scene, when he's talking about this, I don't know if he's talking about disappointment. I don't know if it was at that scene, but he's like, "How many more of these I gotta do?" I was like,
that one. But yeah, uh, man, I loved it. I think that so we can go ahead and kind of get to the end of it. What is the
well, we
so
forgot to mention one person,
who?
Aunt May.
Marissa Tomei. Oh, my bad.
I know.
Miss.
I was waiting for you. I was
Ooh,
like, you love
that's
her.
it.
I was like, why is he not mentioning her?
Man, I think she's excellent as Aunt May, um, and just love the whole. Like even Tony kind of was like talking about his hot aunt type of thing.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I think that was great, man. I was trying to think, so because I want to get this is going to be connected to the end of it, and she comes into play with this. So once Peter fights and wins, he Tony pulls him out of school, and they yeah, there's so many scenes. This scene just popped in my head. The scene where the there's two things. One, Tony wasn't there. It was just like one of his Iron Man suits the first time around. Second time, he says, well, at least I'm here. You can't even bother to be here." And then, like, that's when Tony appears, like, "No, I'm
yeah.
here. I'm disappointed in you." Type of thing. I love that. But yeah, I digress. That's my brain saying, "Hey, mention this real quick." But uh, so the end where Tony is like, "Hey, we got a whole press out here. We're gonna introduce you to Spider-Man, the newest Avenger. Um, here's your new suit. You ready?" And he's like, he pretty much said, "No, I think I need to just." And that's all he wanted throughout the whole movie to be an official Avenger.
Yeah.
But he's like, "No, I think I need to just be this friendly neighborhood Spidey for now." Um, and he is doing that. I guess he's gonna have to do that. But um, but then like he leaves, and obviously Gwyneth Paltrow comes out, and they're gonna announce they're getting married. I guess I don't know, but
Speaking
then
of her, did you know that she didn't even remember being in this movie?
was she drunk? Why did she forget it? Did she have drug issues?
I don't know. She's like, I was in Spider Man. I don't remember that.
Oh wow.
She said it on one of the talk shows. I think they were promoting Endgame, and I think it was Jimmy Fallon. I think I'm not 100% sure. And it's like he was asking about being part of Homecoming. It's like I don't recall being in that movie. He said, "Yeah, you were in the very end. With Happy, they were going to introduce Spider-Man as a new Avenger." So I don't recall.
Uh,
Like,
um,
he
how
said, "Are
about
you
that?
are you being serious?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't recall. I do so much work, I don't recall."
Oh wow. It's just a paycheck to her, I guess.
It is.
Uh, but yeah, that scene where Tony leaves leaves him his new Spidey suit. Well, it's his Spidey suit, I guess. And he puts it on, and the camera pans, and you see Aunt May in the corner behind him, and she says, "What the?" And then it cuts,
Yeah.
hard cuts like the song. Wow, just like so, Aunt May knows that he's Spider Man. I love it. What do you think about that?
Well, see, I wasn't on board with Marissa Tomei as Aunt May until like the No Way Home. That really hit me. But I have a soft spot for the original Aunt May in the original Tobey Maguire movies. I love her. That's Aunt May when I think Aunt May. But knowing they're in different universes, I'm okay with it. I thought rewatching it, it was fun. It was a fun scene, and especially a fun way to end the movie. I thought the whole movie was a lot of fun though. But it was a big deal for Aunt May to know Peter Parker is Spider-Man now, though, because she's like, I remember one scene when she saw on the news, like, you see that, you walk away, you just walk away, and I thought it was a fun scene. I really did. In a way, I guess I'm kind of glad that she knows because the original didn't know He kept it. He kept it from. He tried to keep it from everyone, and Peter just can't keep it from anyone. So
Yeah.
it's the opposite. He just can't keep the secret.
Yeah. Sorry for the noise in the background, by the way. It's just a kid. But anyway, um, so we can go ahead and give our marks for this movie. Um, unless you have anything else to
No, I'm good.
add,
You want me to go first, or you?
you go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 on the markout meter. Is that a little high for you, or
No,
a little
that's
low?
good. No, that's good.
No, I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was very entertaining. It was a great first entry into the MCU for Spider-Man. Really, his first movie. So I thought it was really good. It checked off everything it needed to check off. It had a really good villain. It had good side characters. It had a good story. So I'm a huge fan of this movie.
All right. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 as well. I didn't know what grade I was gonna give it until you gave it that, so I'm copying you. Uh,
I gave it a
uh,
4.5.
all right, well, 4.5 as well. Boom. I'm giving it that. I'm giving it that as well because I just feel like like you said, it's a great entry into the film, uh, and well, the series for him. It's not it's his first official movie,
Yeah,
but I think that it sets up everything. Like we know that at this point the ball is rolling
yeah,
when it comes to like everything. Because like next week is like I want to say it's is it Doctor Strange, which
yeah. It's not strange.
I'm not looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Cause all right, because I will go ahead and say this now. Um, I just feel like Doctor Strange. So the more I think about the new Doctor Strange movie, the more I feel let down by it. Because it's just not as man. I would say he's one of the weakest out of all the Marvel characters. Like as far as being compelling, he's really powerful too. So it's crazy, but it's just that he's pretty weak, man. It's like
You talking about the first movie or the second movie?
it's the first movie. It just be, but well, no, I'm talking about because of the second movie. I just
Uh,
felt like now overall that character isn't as compelling
I,
as he
I like
was.
I like the second movie better, but I do agree that overall his films they're kind of weak, and he's not a weak character by any means, but I feel he works better with the team than he does solo. Uh, that's just how I take it. I don't know how anyone else takes it, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I didn't really like it when I first saw it, and I don't know if I went back and watched it or not. I
Yeah, I
forgot.
don't think he did. I don't think he did. That's why I'm happy that you didn't watch it because now we can just watch it and suffer together. No, but
Maybe we'll really like it this time, though.
maybe I mean I'm looking forward to Thor Ragnarok, and I'm looking forward to obviously Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I know that I'm getting closer and closer to Infinity War and Endgame. Um, but yeah, uh, but in
Getting
the
close,
meantime, huh?
getting close to Tony's final moments.
Yeah. And so let me tell you the way. So real quick, the way it goes on Disney Plus after. So this isn't taking into consideration No Way Home, Far From Home, and No Way Home. So you have to tell me where it will land in this. But after Endgame on Disney Plus, it has Loki, What If, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and that's it. So I would say No Way Home, or Far From Home is probably somewhere
It
between.
was the first movie after Endgame. I
All
don't
right,
know
so
exactly where Loki's taking place because I don't
so
know.
what we end up having to do, gentlemen, people, we're showing you inside thoughts on how we do, but we'll probably end up If y'all disagree, please let us know in the comments on our Facebook page for this post or whatever, or on our YouTube channel. Just let us know, or anywhere else you can comment. What do we need to watch? Uh, no, Far From Home immediately at the end game. I'm thinking so. I think to get the point of it, it has to follow immediately at the end game, and then we can continue on with Loki or what else after that. You agree?
That sounds good to me. I
All right.
think you would get it would. Like I said, I don't know what Loki's story is, but I know the story of Far From Home is the after effects of Endgame.
Mhm.
Losing a life without Iron Man. So I know that was the first movie after Endgame. So
Yeah.
uh,
Well, uh, well, that's it for this podcast episode today. We thank you for tuning in with us.
oh wait,
Oh, oh,
you
go
forgot
ahead.
something. Best heroes, best villains.
Oh, my bad. Thank you, Brandon. Let's see. Best heroes, best villains. So far, best heroes. Still gonna give it a Cap because of his funny PSA commercials. Even sold it more for me. I loved it. And then best villain. Uh, at this point, still say Killmonger. Killmonger's still the best villain. Um, at this point, I would say Vulture, but I don't think that he is. I think he had great motivation, but I don't think he's still the best. I think Killmonger is by far the better villain.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with both Killmonger and Cap. But by the time we get to No Way Home, I think it's going to be neck and neck between Cap and Spidey. I really do because how can you not feel
Yeah,
for Peter Parker at that point? Everything he's been through. But right now, I would say Captain America's the best hero, and the best villains right now is Killmonger. Still, I like Vulture. I thought he's a solid villain. Um, I would probably put him in my top five. I don't think he's quite up there yet.
right.
I don't know if we'll ever see him again in the MCU, but I know he will be part of Sony's plans. But I look forward to seeing him again, though, in a
Mhm.
bigger role. Whenever that happens, maybe it'll be
Well,
six. I don't know.
in
Like
the meantime, all right. Well, in the meantime and in between time, we thank you for marking out with us here on the Markout Movie Podcast. Uh, Thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing. So right now on YouTube, we have let's see. I want to see if y'all can help out because on our YouTube channel, we have 210 subscribers. Let's get it. Let's get up to 500. Let's do it, and then from there, let's get to 1,000.
it's
The
quite.
goals is that's my goal, man. So we can get to that point where we get 1 million subscribers. We get some more YouTube stuff happening. So that's
Did
great.
you just say a million? Did he just say a million?
Oh, it's gonna happen one day, slowly but surely. It's gonna just tell you what. I'll tell you what. Whenever we
He's
interview The Rock,
shooting for the skies, ladies and gentlemen. If you
whenever we
will,
interview The Rock or Ric Flair or something,
that was
yeah,
Dusty Rhodes. If you will, when shooting for the skies, also Dusty, but I wasn't trying to do the Dusty voice with that one.
you're weird, Brandon, but I love you.
You
All
are
right,
shooting for the sky here.
yeah, but all right, Aaron Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey.
he forgot his name. We are the Markout Movie Podcasters. We thank you for marking out with us here. We'll catch you next week. Um, Stay fresh. I don't know.